I want to welcome Candace Zerny again. She's author of the book First Cause. Candace, I want to know, how do we find out we've been getting the acting versus reacting wrong? Because I imagine it's not a fun realization.
No, it's really not. It almost always shows up in the physical body first. The moment we realize we've been living in a chronic state of reaction is usually accompanied by this profound, undeniable physical depletion, like exhaustion, deep exhaustion, or a wave of just sinking regret. You know, you snap at your partner, or you reflexively agree to a massive project at work because you couldn't tolerate the awkwardness of saying no.
Oh, I've been there.
Right. And the immediate aftermath is this heavy, hollow feeling in your chest. It's the visceral realization that you just spent your finite life energy executing a behavioral pattern that you don't even endorse.
That is wild. Yeah. It makes sense if you think about it like an engine. You're essentially running a high-performance vehicle.
On borrowed fuel, driving it in someone else's direction. And you've been doing it for longer than the reserves were ever designed to sustain. You're like performing the performance of a life rather than actually living it. That is exactly what's happening.
And that brings us perfectly into the first major theme of the first cause source material. We have to enter through the pain. Because this disconnection from your true self, losing touch with your first cause, it doesn't show up as some abstract philosophical crisis.
Right, no, you don't just sit under a tree pondering the meaning of life. It shows up as highly specific, unavoidable daily friction, extremely practical friction. It's the grit in the gears of your everyday existence. We have to look at this pain directly, without flinching, because if we don't diagnose the pain accurately, the solution just sounds like a nice idea. It has to feel like a biological imperative, not just a wellness tip.
And what's crazy to me looking through these notes is that this friction hits two very different types of people in the exact same way. You point out that there is a shared frustrating destination for both the novice and the veteran.
Let's define who we're talking about here. First, you have the novice, right? The highly competent adult who has never touched a personal development book in their life.
They don't do therapy, they don't journal.
Right. They just put their head down, grind it out, and manage their circumstances through sheer willpower. Then, on the other extreme, you have the veteran, the person who has read every psychology book, attended every retreat, downloaded every mindfulness app, the professional self-improver.
Exactly. So why do both of these radically different people and end up in the exact same frustrated, reactive place when the pressure hits?
They end up in the same place because both of them, regardless of their vastly different vocabularies, are operating under what I term a crowded mind. The veteran might have much more sophisticated clinical language to describe their stress. You know, they can articulate their attachment styles, their trauma triggers.
They can diagram their family systems on a whiteboard.
Right. And the novice might just bluntly call it being stressed out or hitting a wall. But under real acute pressure, when the threat detection system in the brain fires up, all of that sophisticated prefrontal vocabulary just burns away.
Oh yeah, this goes completely offline.
Totally offline. Both individuals default to what I call borrowed voices.
Borrowed voices. That is such a haunting phrase. Let's get really specific about what a borrowed voice sounds like.
Well, borrowed voices are the culmination of all the external expectations you have seamlessly internalized over a lifetime, to the point where you mistake them for your own thoughts. It's the ghost of a highly critical parent that you still carry in your mind at age 40. It's the societal expectation of what a successful career timeline is supposed to look like, or like the implicit demands of your specific corporate culture. The voice that tells you that responding to emails at 11 p.m. is a sign of dedication. When the pressure spikes, If you don't have immediate access to your own first cause, your genuine inner knowing, the loudest borrowed voice simply takes the wheel.
So the novice and the veteran both end up reacting based on what they think they should do to survive the moment rather than what their own genuine intelligence dictates.
It's like you're a puppet on a string, and the scariest part is you don't even realize who is pulling it. You think you're making choices, but you're just running a program. That's exactly it. So here's where I'll leave you. Everything we talked about today starts with one thing: knowing what your reactive pattern actually is. Because you can't catch the moment before if you don't know what you're catching it from. That's why I developed a free 5-minute quiz that tells you exactly which reactive pattern runs you when the pressure hits. The one that's been costing you without you ever naming it. Go to consciousnesstrack.app/quiz. That's consciousnesstrack.app/quiz. Take it before the day gets hold of you. See your pattern. Then you'll know exactly where the work begins.